some darker people, some throw hungry people in the mud for big powerful America and shoot them for what? They never called me nigger. They never lynched me. They never put no dogs on me. They never robbed me of my nationality, raped and killed my mother and father. Well, I'm going to shoot them for what? How am I going to shoot them? Them little poor little black people, little babies and children and women. How can I shoot them poor people? Just take me to jail.
And that kind of says everything I needed to, in terms of finding some kind of description about, how do you describe Muhammad Ali? How do you pay tribute to Muhammad Ali? That little short clip for me says everything that you need to know about the man. At the end of the day, he stood up for what he believed. He stood up against all odds, all provocation, how difficult it must have been at that particular point in time to stand up against authority and sacrifice possibly the best part of his career, for what he believed in. Obviously, when I first heard the news, I thought about my dad, because my dad being, of that generation, it takes a lot to actually, because my dad was telling me it took a lot for him to be inspired by something, because my dad is really, really strong-willed. But coming in, when he came over to the United States, my dad came over to the United States in the 70s. He came over to study in the United States. My dad always remembered, and he always used to say to us, he used to say, regardless of anything that, he went through being in the United States, how tough it was, he actually was inspired by this man called Muhammad Ali. My dad used to shine when he spoke about him. He used to, there was joy every time he spoke about this man. Coming over from this continent, people used to, obviously doubt how could it be possible to come over to this from where from our continent to come over to the United States. People are not so smart over there, all that kind of stuff. And then my dad, comes over here, feels so isolated. But then, because my dad was a massive sports fan, he would turn on the TV, and then there Muhammad Ali was, fighting, through the face of all provocation, standing up for what he believed in, and then also being a great sportsman, a great fighter, a great boxer, having such tremendous amount of skills, and then taking on, just, my dad used to just, he used to say, just, regardless of whatever I did, no matter what I did in life, always listen to the great ones. Always listen to the great ones. Be inspired by the great ones. And to be honest with you, he's right. And they don't come any greater than Muhammad Ali. They don't come any greater. My father absolutely loved this man. It's kind of hard to describe, because there's nothing like him today. There's just nothing. There's just nobody who, garners the respect that Muhammad Ali garners. Through his achievement, through his life, through his, the body of work, through his speeches, through his dedication, through his philanthropy, through his generosity. There isn't anybody who inspired a whole generation to inspire other future generations that you can make it. You can stand up if you really, really, truly have a passion and truly have a belief. You can stand up for what is right. And Muhammad Ali did. And there's no greater tribute to Muhammad Ali than the love that they have for him. Even though he's the son of the United States, he truly is a king. I kind of wish I was in charge of the whole continent from the land of kings. I kind of wish, because if I was, every single country in that continent would take a weekend off and pay full tribute to Muhammad Ali. Because as much as he loved us, and we knew he loved us, we truly loved him. Truly, deeply loved him. My father's heartbroken. Being a sports fan, but also one of his inspiration passed away. And I just wanted to say thank you, Mohammed, for inspiring my father so he in turn can inspire me. For giving us young men and women and people of our continent to believe that you can achieve something and you can stand up for what is true and right and what is righteous. Thank you. Thank you. And rest in peace, the greatest of all time.